Hey, good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? It is 10:13 New York City time, and I am in my little space. Um, just got up this morning. I'm one of the lucky ones who've been lucky enough to because I work for the Board of Ed. I've been lucky enough to have work, so I've been able to leave out my place and have some human contact, which has been really great. Meeting some new teachers and bonding, which has been nice. So, which has been really interesting. Although the sites that are set up in New York, our site is going to remain open, and they closed down some other sites, and a lot of the kids and will be transferring over here, and some staff. Um, so it was good, and I worked from 7 a.m. until 1:30, which means I get up at 4:15, 4:30, because I have to meditate. I have to do my little 10 minute workout, 15-minute work, 10 to 15 minute workout, because I lost the gym and I'm gaining muscle, and I'm trying to reshape my body. So because the gym closed, I think 2 weeks ago, um, I have been doing push-ups and sit-ups and stuff at home, keeping um, some form of exercise going, which is really great for me because it keeps me centered. It doesn't always keep the negative energy from coming within me, or negative thoughts. So I'm just completely aware of all that, and all that, which is a good thing that I'm aware of it, and so I am consciously making an effort to change that. And when I say negative, I mean all kinds of negative thoughts, because this thing can bring out a lot, especially if you already have the your own personal issues and stuff like that. But other than that, I pretty much stay to myself. I do have housemates, but I just like I was thinking about it, because they do their thing, and I don't do a lot of socializing. I mean, I say hi, bye, and get a look conversation. But I kept thinking, even if I was with my best friend Richard, and my other best friend Kimberly, it would be the same thing. Only different would be is that they would tell me, well, you need to come out here with us, so and so and so, spend some time with us, and I would want to do it because I like being by myself, but I would do it. That's the difference here. If they ask me to do it and I don't really want to do it, then I'm not going to do it no matter what. But with my friends, they can coerce me to come out, and I would say, okay, all right, okay, I'll do it, I'll do it. But it also with the comfortability too. I mean, like, these are my two best friends. I've known them for like 30 years. I'm comfortable with them. I don't get in my head around them. Um, I know what their intentions are all the time, and because I'm the type of person, if I don't feel 100% comfortable, I get in my head, and if you say something, and because I know my friend Richie, Kimberly's black, and he's black too, but that's a whole other story. But he's Dominican, so I know if they say something, I don't quickly go, "What are they trying to be racist?" Or what, what I mean? So I have a tendency, what I mean? So or what are they trying to say? Or plus it's just how my brains work. So I'll be more likely to want to sit out and get over my little. And because even with my friends, I have anxiety that pops up, and the difference with them is that because I know them and I trust them, and I know that they want the best, really want the best for me, then it's easier for me to go, okay, I can set that, and I can work through my anxiety. But if I don't, have that bond and all that, then I get in my head real easily, and especially if I don't know you and you are of another race, and because I have my own stuff that I've been dealing with. I'm still carrying on all that racism I went through when I was in California with the Mexicans, and I mean, I'm trying to shake that and let that go, but it was really, when I say rough, it was rough. That was when, I had to own it. That was actually the main reason why I left California, and it wasn't so. I wasn't able. One of the main reasons. I mean, I didn't like California, but that was actually. But if I would have never experienced the racism that I was going through with the Mexican community, to be honest with you, I probably would still be in California. Probably still be living in California, going through the acting thing, have my network of recovery. Would definitely probably have my own play, and I had just got an agent too, so I actually probably would have been farther off in my acting career. But the experience with that was so dramatic and it was so scary. And because of the gangs and all that, I just had this fear. Oh my God, I can actually die. Because I never thought about in this modern day and age. In the 50s and in the 60s, it would have been different. So when I was born and all that, I never really thought about I can be killed because of my race. It just never, discomfort, yes, but I never thought another race would kill me because of my race. I really had that fear in California with the Mexican community. I really had, and so that was part of the thing that okay, okay, I have to go, and I couldn't shake that fear because it wasn't like you would hear a nigger or comments about your smelling or reference you to shit or something like that. It was like a constant thing. Like you have to worry about what neighborhood you were in, what street you were going on. If you were, I mean, it was so. I mean, when I say it was bad, it was relentless. And because of that, it wasn't like white folks. Every now and then, unless they were really okay. If you're racist, you're racist. I just clear that up. But if you're really, really racist, you're gonna let that know 24 hours a day. And most white people keep their racism if they're not on that extreme level. They keep it to themselves, and it comes out passive aggressive. So you learn to deal with white folks. So with them, yeah, you would run into white folks that were extreme racist, and some that would be subtle, and then some, a few that wouldn't. And so because it wasn't an everyday thing, a constant day thing, it you're able to shake it off and move through. But because of the Mexican community, it was literally every day. It was literally every day. Every day I had to deal with some kind of derogatory comment or some aggressive, and it wasn't even passive aggressive. It was aggressive. So that, and because I'm not, because I, it was just too scary. It was too scary. And it was too stressful, and it also brought out my own insecurity, and how, because if I think I would have been a lot more secure in my blackness, um, it probably wouldn't have had that much of effect. I would have been able to just shake it off. Screw you, but because I was already insecure and not grounded in my own self, that it just brought this intense fear. And maybe some of it might have been um, in my head, and and overblown, but it was in my head, and it was really. And when I say heavy, it was anxiety. It was keeping me in my apartment. I wasn't going to. I would work just enough to take care of my rent and bills, and then I would have to. And I was picking up weight. It was really, oh God, it was one of the worst experience when it comes to race that I have ever. And so I'm still trying to um, I'm still trying to dig myself from under that. But it comes up, especially if I'm on the bus or I see, it's still in New York. It's a little different because then I haven't ran into. I mean, I know, but it's a different atmosphere, and they don't seem to be as race. Oh, or maybe even they may not even not be here in New York. But I'm pretty, of course, there are some, but it's not like it wasn't. So I'm able to go out, and I don't. If I see a group, I don't go. Part of me does have a little bit does pop up, but I do go, okay, maybe they're not gonna say anything or some derogatory or some, and a lot of times no, they don't, and sometimes they even nod and say hey. So it's like, okay, all right, okay, okay, but it still comes up, and that fear still, you know, but I'm aware of it, so I don't, and one good thing is I don't let it color my totality of the whole race. I don't let it do that because I do have friends who are Mexican. I'm back in California who I love, and we chat all the time. We're chatting all that, and who are great, good, really just awesome people. Just awesome. And we've talked about it too, and and I've never felt uncomfortable around them, and I've never felt like they had some race issue or or they would make sly comments under their breath. You know what I mean? I just so I know these guys are really just great and just good. But this is supposed to be about the coronavirus. But you know, that's some of the things that's coming up while we're talking about the coronavirus that's been coming up. I think I need to change where this is at, but I'll do that at the end. That's coming up. That's come up about racism and all that. Because I mean, this thing, it's a how do you say? It's a teachable. It's a teachable moment. It's a teachable moment and a moment to really self-evaluate. Because, like I said, things that come up. I've seen people, and but you know, but I'm actually enjoying this. And what I mean is that there's nothing you can do. What I mean about that, like you can't take care, you can't worry about bills because, um, well, you can, and I'm still working. I still have money, but I can't worry about, well, can I get it? Because I think a lot of companies are going to, because of this, they're going to relax and they're not going to stress you out. So it's kind of like, well, you can't worry about bills because everybody is on the same page. Everyone's having this issue. You can't worry about work because no one's working. I mean, most people aren't working. You can't worry about calling students because I've tried to call student loan and see what's going on with my with the interest rate and that I'm consolidating, and you can't stress out about that because most people aren't working because those are essential workers. So they're I mean, so it's like part is it's like this is a good time to work on. You can't worry about anything. You can't worry about anything because everyone is in the same boat. So that brings some comfort and a sense of ease and a sense of patience and kindness, and because it's like everyone is in this together, and because of the person in the White House and the China coronavirus, referring to as a Chinese because it started, and it's like, you know, I I'm not gonna go into white folks. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna be more uplifting and positive because that was something else that brings up. I was reading this article about Brooklyn about this young black girl who's in her 30s. She got sick, and she was showing symptoms of the coronavirus. And she went to the hospital. Then they sent her back, and she got sicker. And they sent her back, and then she got sicker, and 3 times. And now she's in a ventilator, and they still haven't. And she keeps telling them and they still haven't telling her she don't need to be tested, whatever. That's not what. And she went back to the hospital 3 times, and they still have not tested her, and she's still in critical condition, and they still have not did a test on the coronavirus. And I'm sitting there going, and it's because she's black. Because if that was a young white girl who was 30, okay, they don't have a lot of tests. So maybe I do believe the first time they said, no, you don't fit the category, and they would have turned her away. Okay. And maybe, because they don't have enough, so they would have maybe. Okay, we know what we don't think that's what it is. So we but they would have made her feel comfortable. They were like, baby, we don't think that's what it is, and you're young and you can fight, so we don't want to wait. So maybe the second time. But when she went back in the third time in worse condition, and she's on a ventilator and pretty much critical, then they would say, we need to test. They would have tested her. They would have tested her. That's the difference. They would have tested her. And this young black girl who's in her 30s has yet to be tested, and she's in critical condition. And they're still saying she don't need it to be tested. And that's when you bring up to the point to where Black Lives Matter. Brown lives, they matter. And if this was been a white counterpart, they by the third time they would have tested her to make sure she didn't have the just to make sure to see what they was dealing with. And so it brought up some of that. Then I'm on the bus, on bus 39, and it's crowded. The bus is late, and they don't have a lot of buses running, and they want you to distance, socially distance. And people are getting in and most of the essential workers that are working are black and brown, because most of the jobs that they do, that we do, are not going to be jobs where you can do at home. And so, and because I'm a substitute teacher, so let me clear that. If I wasn't a substitute teacher, I would be at home working from home, doing classes from home, because most full teachers are working from home. I'm not a substitute. I'm a substitute teacher, and so we have to go to this. We don't have to go to the site because it is voluntary. So you don't have to go to the site. It's voluntary, and because I am healthy And even if I got the virus, my body's gonna fight it. It's not my time. I'm gonna live for another 60 years. I'm pretty sure of that. I come from a good stock, good genes. Um, People in my family do die, but they usually die from some kind of, suicide or drugs or alcohol, and but other than that, people live until they get like 90, 100. I come from good genes, um, and everybody ages beautifully if they take care of themselves. So I can rest assured that I just feel confident that I have another 50 to 60 years to be kicking around in this beautiful um, existence that I am so happy to call life. Um, but anyway, so I'm like, if you want people to social distance, they need to have more buses out. They need to have more buses out so people know, oh, there's another bus coming in 5 minutes, so I don't have to get on this because I want to rush and get home to my kids. I saw people on the bus that were older people who were working because they're essential workers. And I saw young people with their and I'm just like, this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. So of course I'm on the phone calling the governor. I'm on CNN. I'm emailing. I'm taking pictures. I'm doing all that because I'm like, this is unacceptable. Because I really believe, because if push comes to shove and they have to decide who lives or die, no matter how healthy our people are, we will always get the short end of the stick. And I mean people, I mean black and brown. So I was just like, no, 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 no. So I left messages to the mayor. I left messages with the governor. I sent photos. I sent pictures. I sent a video because it was like, no, this is just unacceptable. Unacceptable. But there is. I do believe, and even before I've been watching Oprah on Apple TV, and she's talked about this, and even before, I'm like I said, I'm one of those people who've always believed the universe is always giving you messages, and everything that you experience or you have drawn to you is a teachable moment, and there's a reason. Because I do not believe anything is a coincidence. I don't believe things are random. I don't believe in life is random, and I do believe everything is a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. I also believe most of the things that, not most, all the things that each individual experience are things that they need to experience. There's a reason why they're experienced, and a lot of it you draw to you to awaken you, whether it is negative or positive. There's everything is a jarring to have you come to, because I think we're born into we are born into this life, and we are unconscious, reactionary. We are unconscious and we're reactionary. And we go about through life making unconscious choices and being unconscious choices and being reactionary. And then something happens that wakes you up. And because of how we have designed life to be, it's usually something bad or pain or suffering. Very few people wake up when life is great and life is good. Although I do believe there are some people who don't need to have bad experience drawn to them or painful experience, and that can wake up to consciousness with things that are good, where they be, oh my God, I'm so grateful for this, and I'm conscious. So how can I help other people achieve this, or get, you know what I mean? So I do believe not everyone needs to have bad experience or pain or drama to be awoken to a conscious living. I do believe there are some people who are able to get that through a good life and being awoken through having a life of privilege. And when I say life of privilege, I don't mean based on race, because I do believe you can have a life of privilege whether you are poor or middle class, black, white, you know what I mean? And you can wake up and realize, see what you have is what you've had is and want to help other people to achieve that. So, but I think for most people and the way we've designed life, it's usually through tragic or death or pain that we are awakened to conscious living and learning how to connect to each other on a conscious level and all that. So that's something that I've always believed. I think that's why I read my first self-help book at 12, Think and Grow Rich, and sow the seed about what you think and thinking and how to create the life that you want through how you see life and how you visualize. So and then as I got older, self-help books, Oprah, and other grown-ups came into my life that reinforced what I already believed. And that's why, a lot of the stuff that Oprah said, or self-help people, people that are on that I was drawn to, and I understood it from my life because I was already someone who was already in that space. I might have not, when I was younger, completely understood it and what it meant to me, but now when I look back, I see, so that's the whole. So for me, something that I have been just completely, you know, and just so, yeah, Corona, I do, so for me, I'm actually enjoying enjoying this quality time with myself because I come home, I get off work, the first thing I do is I take a shower because I like taking showers because they relax me, and some of it also my own issues. You know what I mean? Part of it is because I was watching this documentary, and it was about she did that. It was about black women and entrepreneurship, and it's the same thing when you watch stuff about black men and how you feel like you have the weight of the world on the weight of your entire race on your shoulders. And I know for me that added a lot more stress. And I know I'm always thinking about how am I being perceived and how am I carrying myself into this space. And I'm always thinking like that when I'm with people who are not black. I'm always thinking, how am I perceived? What do I need to do? There's always this stuff that black people aren't clean, or we don't take. You know what I mean? So for me, that's why I'm in the house, and I'm black, and other people aren't. So I walk and say, okay, I need to make sure that I smell good. I need to make sure that I'm taking showers, that my fingernails are clean, that I don't have dirt under my fingernails. I'm doing this. I'm doing because I just have this thing where one black person who has a bad day or something like that, it colors all of us. So I'm constantly, and I think part of me, that's a weight I put on myself. Even when I talk to somebody, I make sure that I'm trying not to use a lot of slang. I will if I'm with my friends or I'm with other. Then I can relax and say okay, I can relax. I can be more of me. You know what I mean? But other than that, I'm not. I'm always thinking, okay, how am I being perceived as a black person? And how can I make sure that I'm presenting the entire race in a better. That's why, and that also makes things a little hard. It makes it a little because I'm quick to go to the race thing. Quick, especially if you're not black. I'm quick to go. You say something, you do. I'm quick to go. Okay, what's the intention behind that? Why are you what I mean? So and so and so. So you know what I mean? And don't call me lazy. Do not or make a reference to me or make a reference to me trying to be sneaky or dishonest or I'm out to do something. Oh, do not, especially if you're not, do not, because I'm like, why would you do that? What is the intention behind that? And why? Because I know it doesn't have, and usually and I know for 100% has nothing to do with me. It's usually a projection of them or who they are, and it's about them. But you don't, at that moment you don't think that because I had this at work where I perceived someone was trying to call me lazy, and I calmed down. I got with the person. I got with Miss Shay, and I just went off. I kept my composure. I didn't react in that moment, but I got in there and I said, "This is how I perceive." And the person was Latin, and I said, first of all, da 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 da. I went off. I brought it. This is how I've lived my life. Da 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 da. This is what I did. I did this. I had this career. This is the second thing I'm trying to figure out. Second career. I did this. I have this master. Da 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 da. I come from this stock. Da 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 da. And don't you dare. Da da. And the person was, oh, but that's. I said that's what it was perceived as. So you need to watch what you say because I'm not that person. I am. And I just went off, and Miss Shay was like, I'm just like no, because and I did. I said because I know how they think of us. And he was like, but I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't. And plus, he was one of those Latin I mean, you look at his face, you can tell he was Latin, but he's white. So I'm like, because what man at this black folks, and I just went on. I said, no. And he was like, well, I said, well, you need to watch what you say because I took offense to that. I took that offense to that. And I said, and don't refer to any of these kids as lazy either. And Miss Shea was like, oh, I said, no, because you think about what lazy, when they refer to us as lazy, think about the history of that. I said, I do not refer to any of these kids as lazy. I won't say it. Okay, maybe they're not inspired or something like, well, that, but don't refer to them. And then she was like, oh my God, I won't do that again. I won't even do that with my kids. Cause I just, that's a negative connotation. And usually when people use that towards black people, it's coming from that intention. Because everyone knows what, you know what I mean? It's coming from that intention. It's coming from that attention. So I'm very, 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 ooh, don't. So, and I think a lot of it's about, and a lot of it's also about me. Because I grew up where, with everybody. I grew up in a family. Okay, everybody has their issues, but no one went to jail, regardless of what they thought. Everybody worked. My biological father has his own construction business that he's had his entire life. He owns 3 houses in Florida. Dropped out of school in the 6th grade, but back then, no one, it had his construction business since I was a kid, and I'm 50 now. And he has a second family. They're all grown, and he, uncles who been working for the shipyard. I have family members who have their own, entrepreneurs. So I'm like, I come from that kind of stock. That's where I come from. I come from that kind of stock. Even with the issues with alcohol and drugs, people don't go to jail. People work. They keep their jobs and all that stuff. That's where I come from. So for me, and I was taught, when you walk out, you carry this. This is what you do. You're representing everyone. You're representing us. You're representing your family. You're representing, because you make a mistake, it messes up for all of us. They think, we all can't, which is not true. It is absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. Just not true. I meet so many black folks, black men or whatever, who are trying to take care of their kids, who may not be married, who's trying to play child. Who's stressing out about the stories and they're being, of course, you have this thing because there's certain jobs that I just won't do, and it depends. I'll take that back. There's certain jobs I won't do, but I'll do if I'm working in a black establishment, because the intention that people think is a little different. You know what I'm saying? If I needed to do a job, like if I had to do a certain job, I say, oh yeah, it depends on who I'm working with. I wouldn't have a problem. Do it. Would I do a certain job where a white man or some other is in charge? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not, because eventually someone's going to say something racist or expect say, no, nah, no, we still live in America, and people still have these misconceived notions about black folks and what we can do and what we can't do. The reason I bring that up during the coronavirus, because believe it or not, because of stuff that's going on and been seeing racism and people biases and all that, it makes you reflect on your own and how you can be a better person. So for me, although I do find my moments, like I said yesterday on the bus, seeing all these black and brown people loaded on the bus when there should be social distancing, all these older folks who are getting off work on the bus and thinking about their kids and their families and thinking about, and the buses are not running frequently. And I'm like, how dare you? You should, there should be a lot more buses than usual. There should be buses coming every 5 minutes than usual. So people can realize, oh, this bus is a little too many people. There's a bus coming in a couple, you know what I mean? So we can social distance. Because I'll tell you now, when our people start getting sick and all that, they're gonna be the first ones they decide to let go. So it's like no. So I can be yeah. So, and sometimes that takes you to, you try not, and you try not to think about race when it comes to white, but then there's a whole history. There's a whole history, and you also know how they feel when we go up to the doctor. our pain is not as valuable as a white person's pain, or we're a lot more tougher. And then, so it's like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. And that was just a survey that was done within the last couple of years. You know what I mean? So it's like there's a reason. It's not like I'm making up stuff, and it's not. And when we bring it up, because I remember I said that on. I said that I think on Facebook or one of my social media, and someone said, "Why does it always have to be? Why do you always say that?" And I said, "Because it is. It is always about race, and don't you sit up here and pretend that it's not, because it is. And I'm not for 1 second going to take for granted that. Oh no 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 no, because it's not true. You hear what I'm saying? It's not true. So I was just like, no 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 no, it is. It is. You hope not. And for white folks, it is. It's something they don't have to worry about, but we have to. And we have to worry about it. Not worry about it, but we have to have that third eye. I don't say worry about it because worry doesn't mean, but we have to have that third eye. It would be silly of us to pretend that it's not. So for me, which is great because it allows you to, because I'm the kind of person when it comes to me, I like to know everything about me, everything, and I've always been that person when it comes to me. I'm not someone to hide something from myself or not want to talk about, especially if when I'm in a place to talk. I'm not the one to keep secrets from myself, which I want to know, and anything that is dark in me, I want to bring it out, work through it, so I can separate myself from it, because I believe it has no place for me in my spirit, in my transformation, in my evolution of spiritual and mental growth. So for me, that's why I'm always questioning all that stuff, because at the end of the day, it's about a reflection of me and how I feel. So I'm always in this moment not trying. I don't say, because trying is you setting yourself up for failure, because you hear people all the time. Well, I'm trying to do this, and then something happens, and they react the same way they react. You know what I mean? So I hear people, because I'm in recovery. So I hear people say, "Well, I'm trying to live the principle." I hear, "Oh, I'm trying." Soon I said, "No, you're not." Anytime I know from my experience, when I say, "Oh, I'm trying not to do that," I'm not, because then the same thing happens, and I react the same way, and then I fall back. Oh well, I'm trying. No, no. So for me, I say, no. You either do or you don't. You either do or you don't. You hear people in the room talking about who shoplift. Well, I'm trying to stop shoplifting, and then every week they have a story about them shoplifting, and then they go, "But I'm trying. It's not as bad." And I sit in my head, I go, that's why I say trying is a failure. Anytime people say, "I'm trying to do something," that means they're not doing it, because you either do or you don't. You either do or you don't. I'm trying not to use, because I didn't just say drugs. Or I'm trying to not to use drugs. I'm not trying. As soon as I got stressed out or felt good or something, I was using. So I know that when people say they're trying, that means they're not trying, and they're setting themselves up for failure. Because there's two things. You either do or you don't. And you get to where you need to get to by doing. Because eventually they come together. You know what I'm saying? You try not to be I'm not going to be reactionary. And you go into a situation, and you try not to be reactionary, and you find yourself maybe being reactionary. But if you keep doing it, you keep the distance between being conscious and it gets smaller and 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 smaller to the point to where someone says something to do something and you're not reacting. You're able to take that in, and you probably, once you get to that point, won't even react. And reaction doesn't mean it's a negative. Not to say that you may not have the feelings that arrive within you, because everyone will always have those feelings. The deal is to have those feelings and not react with those feelings. to have those feelings and to give, because you're not going to live in a world where you're not going to be affected. The deal is to be affected, to have those feelings and give them their space, but not let those feelings dictate how you move forward. That way you no longer become reactionary. And I know right now when it comes to the race stuff, or me quickly going to the race stuff, I'm still in that reactionary mode. And I'm allowing someone else's belief system about themselves interfere with the belief system I have about myself. And because my belief system isn't strong and it's on a weak foundation, I allow their perception of who they are to interfere. Because when it comes to anybody who's racist or biased or have bad intentions or not good, that's them projecting their madness onto you. And if you are in a weak position, you will allow their madness to impede on your madness, and there you have two people in reaction and more immersed in madness. So it's okay. It's like this. I'm someone who has always had this thing to where what my mother and father used to call me. There's a name for that when it comes to I can't think of the name right now. My grandparents used to say that to me. I'm someone who could, who, let's say, it can pick up on everyone's feelings in the room. There's a name for that. And I will walk into a room, and whatever the dominant feeling is, I can take that feeling and make it my feeling. Not realizing that I'm picking up the energy of the room. There's times that I've gone into, this just happened. I went into recovery. I was in a meeting. And as soon as I walked in the meeting, I'm sitting down. And I had this rage pop up. And I remember sitting in the meeting. And I'm like, why am I? And I'm like, but I wasn't. When I walked into, because it was a good day. I had a good day. I felt good. And I'm like, when I walked into the meeting, I was in a peaceful, calm place. So I'm like, so why am I now sitting in this meeting and I'm angry? I mean, I was angry. I was rageful. And I'm sitting there going, something's okay. This is not. I came into the room and I'm like, I'm answering, okay, did something pop up? Did something come up in me that I didn't know? Because, you can be in a place and something past can pop up. Some past experience can pop up and you find yourself, I'm sitting in the room like, okay, I was fine all day. Did anything pop up that I didn't know? I know I'm back in the rooms of recovery and this is new and I'm in the pink cloud and stuff can pop up. But I'm like, but no. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm just feeling rageful. The person spoke, they did their thing and the chips and the person spoke. And then after they spoke, the first woman that shared was enraged. And she was talking about her husband, how she relapsed. And she had 29 years. And she was dating this guy who just got out of the jail. I mean, it was one of the most painful things. And she was like, and I'm sitting there. And then the next person, and then it had about 4 people right after that share. And they were in this rageful place. And once they got it out, what happened, whatever was going on, subsided. And I'm sitting there going, oh, thank God. I'm like, but it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was in the room. And once those people got out what they wanted to say, the rage that I had in me subsided. And I was like, oh, and that was something I learned in acting from my acting teacher about transferring energy, transference of energy. And being able to identify, that when you walk into a space, and that's it, you walk into a space. And the reason why I was able to identify that is because I walked into that space. I was in a good spot. I was happy to be in the room. I was happy to be around all those black, because most of the people on this side of the Bronx that I've been going are black folks. I was happy to be in the room with all these beautiful black men and women getting recovery and who, and all that stuff. So I was coming from work where work was great. I just got finished working, after school, and all the kids that are black and brown and people are working, just been around all this beautiful black and brown energy and love and it was just so, I was in work and I was just happy. I was in a good place and I was just like, whoa, I don't think this is my energy. I don't think it's mine. And then when people, and I was like, oh, And that was because I thought about my teacher in acting. He talked about transfers of energy and being able to walk in a space. Because if you walk into, and which is so funny, I'm at an acting school learning about acting and how to the tools, the being put yourself in a spot and how to draw from your own whatever, and in learning about transferring of energy and how being able to walk into a space, knowing that when you walk into a space that you are in a moment of peace, and being able to identify when when it's not your energy, when it's not your, you know what I mean, and so that happens to me when I'm able to do that when I'm always when I myself is in a place of calmness. I'm calm because there's times that I've walked into the apartment because when you share the apartment with other people, everybody has their energy. There's times that I walked into the apartment and I was fine, and I walked in, and then I found myself ignored, not ignored, but I'm agitated or aggravated or whatever, and then you spin around the house and you listen to other people talking all that, and you go, oh, okay, that's not my energy. That's not my energy. A roommate or someone's had some issue, whatever, and so it's like, oh, okay, that's not my. Because you will when you just transfer of energy when you come into somebody's space or people. So and so, but the thing that makes that beautiful, because if you're not conscious and aware of that, you can wind up acting out, thinking you're in that, and then bringing that energy, and it brings up in you, and you thinking you're in knowing, and before you know it, you're being a little judgmental, no, because you're feeding in on that energy that what you know what I mean, your enemy, and so because I was able to walk in there, and I was coming from, and it only works when I'm coming from a place of peace. Like if I walk into the apartment and I'm already in that, oh no, I can't believe it. Oh no, and I can't believe it. And it's not like it's hard for me. I already got my energy that's in that place of annoyance, and then you pick up, and then before you know what I mean, and that could open the door for you. Maybe to snap at somebody that you're really not upset with, or having a little confrontation with someone that you have, what I mean, because you, and so because of that, which has been pretty good, because of living with people. Because a lot of times when I'm coming in, I have to check myself, make sure, okay, where am I at? Make sure I'm not picking up anyone else, you know what I mean, or turning what's going on into, and then this and that, just to remain calm and all, which has been great. Because in the past, someone can say something, and then I would react, and then before you know, I would be in an argument with a friend, and so no. Now, I'm able to, I may still vent with one of my friends, which is better, because in the past I would vent not even vent, I would be in an argument with the person that I'm having, you know what I mean? So now I'm able to, okay, and then you still need, I'm not at the point to where I can internalize it myself and then let it go. Although I still believe venting to someone, although you're not, it's still just as bad because it's negative energy, whatever, that doesn't need to be put, you know what I mean? But because I haven't figured out how to allow it to have the feelings and let them disperse, I still have this thing to where I need to express them or put words onto them. And so that's the thing I'm working on now, being able to have the feelings and all that, and don't need to put words into, because I do believe it's like you don't, because I believe, and this is what I've read, but I also believe that if you're thinking it, it's just as bad as doing it. Because once you think it, you've already put that energy out there, although you didn't react on it, but you thought it, and the energies are, and it's already in your body. So my goal is not to think negative things or derogatory or anything about anyone, and just give everyone their space, because at the end of the day, it works. It works for me. And that's what I'm trying to be. That's something I've always, even as a kid, when I would pray to God in my understanding, that as I get older, I want to be this kind of person. I want to be the kind of person that walks into the room and just had good energy, and I validated, and I saw, and I was just love. I didn't want to be one of those bitter people who was upset because life didn't work. You know what I mean? Because now I believe life will work out the way you want it to work out, whether you want it to work out, whether you choose it consciously or unconsciously. At the end of the day, it is a choice that you make. So it's better to make choices consciously instead of unconsciously. So, that's where, things are. So this has really been great. So I'm going to Guys, feel like it's late, but it's not even 11 o'clock. So I'm gonna do another 45 minutes, and we are going